Good morning. I thought I would create a video with the solutions to the last test. I was hoping that some of you would email me and we could set up office hours, but since that didn't happen, I'm going to post this for people that would like a quick little recap. Please pay attention to questions such as, is this a function? Versus later when you might be asked, is this a linear function? So, is it a function? Take note of the wording. Is the person's vertical distance a function of the person's horizontal distance? In other words, when someone is at a specific horizontal distance, is there only one vertical distance? Now, you'll notice even when I plotted this, I made the error of plotting against time, which is what some of you may have done. I like to visualize things. So when we started on the Ferris wheel, we're down here. After, let's suppose, we went a horizontal distance of 20, we also went a vertical distance of 20, which is right here. Then, as my horizontal distance goes back to 0, my vertical distance is actually double wherever this was. Now remember, the Ferris wheel is definitely not on the ground. It's probably a few feet off the ground. So you'll notice that it actually seems like the path created will be very similar to the Ferris wheel. Notice I started above the horizontal axis because of what I just explained. Moving on to the next question. By the way, if you had the roller coaster you'll notice that there's a loop-de-loop. And this time, again, your horizontal distance and your vertical distance. At that specific horizontal distance, there are two vertical distances. Question 2. Is the numerical grade a function of the letter grade? If the statement is true, then you must show why. Notice in a function question, numerical grade, this must be my output because it says is a function of. We could put the word depends on. Does numerical grade depend on the letter grade? In other words, if I know my letter grade, can I figure out my numerical grade? Well, not really, because I could have a letter grade of A, but I don't know what the numerical, it could be anywhere from 90 to 99. Hence, it is not a function. So you'll notice the independent is my letter grade, and the dependent is my numerical grade. In the next part, you'll notice this time it says, is letter grade a function of numerical grade? So numerical grade is my input, letter grade is the output. Can I get a letter grade if I know the numerical grade? Yes, and I get exactly one letter grade for that specific numerical grade. If you had the other test, these questions were flip-flopped. Okay, next. Based on the version you got, you were either looking at the 50 or the 75 line. Function notation simply means put your input in the parentheses and put your output outside. So circumference, head circumference is a function of the age. You could use condensed function notation, which would look like this. Domain and range. Some of you are still having issues with this. Domain will always be your input variable, input values. You must use the correct variable. So domain is going to be related to my age. My age, according to this graph, goes from 0 to 36 months. Notice it says to use the units. 36. Is that a 6? Okay, my bad. So this should say 6, not 8. Caught my error right there. And the practical range Again, I'm looking at the values it starts at. Now, this particular version says looking at the 50th percentile, and you'll notice the lowest value happens to be 36, and the highest value happens to be, and I would take anything close, but somewhere between 36 and 48. You've got to pay attention to what that graph, the lowest values, output values are, and the highest output values. And make sure the units are attached. If you wanted to use interval notation for the input, it goes from 0 to 36. Make sure you specify the units, months. And similarly, we could set up the range to go from 36 to 48. And the units again are centimeters. Evaluate C of 32. Evaluate. In other words, find the value of C when the input is 32. So I go to my table and I look for 32. And again, note this question says explain how you did it. So I was okay if you had some line here and kind of voila, there it is. Or you explained it in words. Then describe what it means in practical sense. That means not I went to 32 as an input and got 48, but what does that mean? 32-month-old boy has a head circumference of 49. Solve. Solve is typically when you're given an output and you have to find the input. So this time I go to 45.2. I go across and I'm reading off on the 50th percentile, and voila, I have 9 as my input. So a 9-month-old has a head circumference of 45.2. Moving to the next question. Just describing what this means, make sure you have the units. 30 is my input, which is months, 30 months. Height is my output in inches. Rate of change. If you are asked during the 3rd year of life, that would be from 24 to 36. This is the 2nd year, end of the 2nd year to the end of the 3rd year. That would be the 3rd year of life. Therefore, output values, change in output values over change in input values. Make sure you keep your units, inches per month. Then describe what it means. Average, so the idea was that you are going to use what you found, since this is an average rate of change during that 3rd year. If I want to know how high, how tall a 27-month-year-old is, I'm going to take that 24-month-old's height and I'm going to add 3 months worth of the change. So 34.5 plus 3 times 0.275. Some of you made so much more work for yourselves. Yes, you could have calculated it between 24 and 30, but no need. We had an average idea of how much the height was increasing per month in that 3rd year. Make sure you'll notice this answer is actually 34.7 inches as calculated. Okay, horizontal intercept. There's my function. Horizontal intercept, always set the output to 0, then solve for the input. I know I didn't show a whole lot of work here, but if I multiply both sides by 5/9, that's gone. Then I'm going to bring that 32 over by adding it, so I get F equals 32. Always show your work when asked. You don't get credit just for giving answers. Vertical intercept. I'm going to put my input as 0 and then solve for the output. And I end up with negative 17.7 as an ordered pair. 0, negative 17.7. Okay, bonus question. All right, you're going to start here. I want to know when the temperature's the same. So I want to know when is this C value equal to F. So I'm simply going to set up my C function and let it equal F. And then I'm solving for that Fahrenheit temperature. Multiply by 9/5, add the 32, and we end up with -40. Now, interesting that some of you just, I don't know, randomly picked -40. I don't think so. You've got to show how you come up with answers. Oh, aka Googled it? That's how I know it. That's not coming up with an answer, that's Googling an answer. That's why the question said show all work or provide a detailed explanation. I had some of you that were clever enough to have graphed it, and you found when the values were equal. That's acceptable as long as you say using a graph on my calculator, using graph on Desmos. But you've got to show me how you get there. This is no guess and check method. You're beyond that. This is Trig. So hopefully going through this test has given you an idea of the errors you made on your test. And you can see the way I've given points. I was quite generous. I give points for attempts. I give at least a fifth of a point of the points possible. I don't completely knock you out unless it's a simple yes, no. So you can see, check your own test. If you want me to email it to you, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day.